Good afternoon. I thought we had a good week last week. Again, being on the road makes it a little bit tough. It seemed like right when we get back, we had to leave again and went to Statesboro, Georgia, and started real slow. I thought our game, we offensively and defensively, we were kind of sluggish the first half, but at least the third and fourth quarter, we kind of played a little bit better and got that win. And then we go to Georgia State, and I thought we played extremely well. I thought we kind of, and the next day after the Georgia Southern game, we had a great practice and meeting, and kids kind of bought into regrouping, and I thought we played probably one of our better games of the year. Georgia State's a lot better than their record shows, but I thought we guarded them the first quarter, held them to 5 points. We scored 20, played really well against their zone, and was excited. Kids, are very, very excited to be back home and get a chance to play in front of our crowds on Thursday. South Alabama, I thought, had a big win against Texas State on Saturday. So, they're a better team. They got a little bit of size on inside, and so it'll be a great challenge for us. And then Troy, it's going to be a battle. They scored 112 points against UTA, so they're going to be they'll be extremely tough to slow down, and hopefully we can do that. Oh, I think so, yeah. I think so. And I think we are, too, kind of a polar opposite of Troy, even though we think that we can run with them. I like that fact that, our coaching staff in the past thought, we can kind of run and get up and down. But I just don't think not many people in the country can. So we'll have to slow it down against Troy. They like to score. The great thing about it is I got to coach against Coach Rigsby all my high school career. And it was the same thing. They were scoring 80 and we were scoring 50. But we were allowing 30 points a game. So we're going to have that same battle. It's just a different way of coaching. There's 1,000 different ways to coach, and she does it a different way, and we do it a different way. So I think it'll be a great game.
Some of the aspects of Troy are still the same. I mean, they still have Ashley Beverly Kelly as their main scorer. Is there anything else that has changed about them as far as their personnel that has maybe helped them this season?
No, I really don't think so. I think just Ashley Beverly is playing at a different level. Her maturity and her work ethic that she has. I talked to Coach Rigsby a lot about her, and they say she's a great kid. She works hard. She shows up every day. She's a great leader. All the things. A great student athlete. So, when you have that and you have that kind of leader on your team, everybody else just kind of follows. With the Ramirez kid coming from junior college, she can score. I mean, she's 6'2" and can shoot the three and creates a matchup problem for a lot of teams, So in every aspect of what they do is they score, and they can shoot. I mean, they shoot the three. They actually lead in the conference in steals and all that too. So the defensive end, they've kind of turned up. I think I think she made a statement. Coach Rigsby made a statement. She wanted to build offense first, and then now she's working on her defense, and it's starting to show. They're pressing a lot more. They're doing a little bit more pressure defense and stuff. So I think I would say the biggest difference between Troy is not offense, it's defense. They've gotten better.
2 games ago, it looked like Bree Cooper really started to step things up in the post, rebounding, defense. How big of a piece do you think she can be moving forward?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Simone hurt her ankle real bad, so she wasn't able to play on Thursday night. So we, just by fault, we went ahead and started Bree, and she had 13 rebounds, and she gets after it. She's just a tough kid too. She's getting stronger. She's understanding a little bit. We got to get a little bit better offensively, and posting up. But I think it'll come. She's just such a coachable kid too, and that's exciting. Not only that, she also is a great student athlete. She's a smart kid in the classroom. So she's a lot of fun, and we're excited about having. That's why we recruited her. She was kind of banged up, kind of all since the summer. And she's getting stronger, but. I think she's getting a little bit more healthier now, and so we'll be able to utilize her more. But she can rebound. She's going to be a big-time rebounder for us.
You had also mentioned, obviously, her grandmother had passed, and also some of the physical challenges she had dealt with. Did that make it harder for you and the rest of the staff to kind of gauge exactly where she was at or what she was going to be at this point?
Yeah, she missed a Puerto Rico trip, because her grandmother passed, and the practice, especially a freshman, when a freshman misses anything, it kind of sets them back. and we were concerned about it, But she came back and she's worked her way back into some playing time, and we talk about it every day. Work hard in practice, and that's how we're going to pay you. We're going to pay you with some playing time. But she just does it, and I think it set her back a little bit as far as her continuing, because she was getting more playing time at that time. But learning the offense, defense, and she's still learning. She took her first charge in Little Rock, first probably charge of her life. So that's big for us, because us in Little Rock are last in block shots. We rather take charges and do those things. So, and she can block shots for us. She's one that we're allowed to. But man, if she can start to take charges and learn some of that aspect of the defensive side, and protect the paint and all that, that'll definitely help us.
As a coach, what's more exciting to you? The fact that your team's 4-1 on the road in Sun Belt play, or that you guys are about to play 7 of your next 8 at home?
Well, I don't know. It's like my concern is we hadn't practiced in the dome in January. It makes it kind of tough. Or I say in January, we did January 1st because we played on the 2nd, but we haven't been in the dome. So it's kind of like being on the road. It's kind of, you're going to come here and hopefully we get a crowd, and that it kind of carries over. But the game we played on January 2nd, we didn't play very well against App State. We shot the ball horrible. So that's more my concern is how is it going to affect us being back home, being back in the dome, and can we get going and keep it going? On the road, it's pretty good. I think it's and a lot of the facilities we playing in are closed in. The arenas are small, man. So it's easy. Both in Georgia State and at Georgia Southern. They had a back. The baseline is not very wide. So man, it's a great place to shoot the ball. So that makes it a lot easier. I know it'd be kind of like playing in there. Okay, I know we don't want to play because of the recruiting part, but it's an easier place to shoot. So that, I guess that helped. And I thought we shot the ball extremely well at Georgia State. But it's always good to be home, and hopefully we can draw some fans, and the men and women can get some fans in and continue the winning. Continue winning. It's important. We've never been 5-1 in conference in a long time. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if UL has ever been 5-1 in conference, and we always talk about is those other games were great, but these are the ones that count. The conference games, and we're one out of first place. We're one game out of first place. Anything can happen. Arkansas State can get beat by anybody, and so we got to continue to take care of what we need to continue to win.
Are you worried that there's just this assumption, well, you're at home, so you're going to win? You sound like you don't have that assumption. Or any false confidence.
I worry about, and I think it's just today's athletes. I worry about if we're playing a great team, we're going to play up to that level. Sometimes when we're playing somebody that we take for granted, concerns me a lot. A lot of times some of our kids will look at their record and not be excited about playing this team. And I think it's just everywhere in the country you look at that, and you see upsets, all over, at home, away, and all that. And to me, great teams don't worry about who they play, and they worry about what they really do. So I have some concerns about it. South Alabama's, I think, a lot better also, than their record is. And I just hope our kids don't take it lightly, especially at home. But, it can happen. I know we don't, as a coaching staff don't, and we try to preach it every day. But, sometimes it's the culture today. They like to play. They like to play the championship games. They like to play the ones that think that, are going to make the biggest difference. And I think every one of them, for us as a team, every one of them is very important from here on out.
Putting their record aside, what challenges does South Alabama bring?
Well, I think the size inside. I'm watching and they're scoring, man. They run a high-low offense that they're getting a lot of touches inside, and they're creating a lot of offense from their bigs. So I think that's going to be a problem for us. Can we press them? We're going to have to change back. When we went to Georgia Southern, we totally changed back to pressing a lot more. We pressed the whole game, and that's the first game this year that we do that. I think against the South Alabama and all that, I don't think we can play half court with them. I think we got to get up and pressure them and try to create the game a little bit faster. And then we go to Troy, we got to go opposite. It's just, every time it's a matchup. And South Al, we got beat last year at South Al, and it was because we didn't take care of business. We didn't do the things that we need to do to win games. And when I always say that, we're not good enough to just play. We have to play our style and the way we want to play, and what we plan to play. How we plan to play to win. It's just it's the style we have. And it's not about talent. It's about doing what we do best.
When y'all played South Alabama the first time last year, I remember they hit a lot of threes. They made a lot of 3-pointers. If you try to speed them up and make them play fast, if they get in a transition, kind of helter-skelter, is that a thing where you have to make sure, pick them up at the don't let them come down in transition and start jacking up threes?
Yeah. And I think last year their team, they had a couple of seniors last year that could just really shoot the ball. And I'm not saying they can't this year. I just don't think they're the same makeup. I think their makeup is based on, their offense is based on their post play. They want to get touches inside, and they want to pound it inside. So it's a different. They have a different team. And I tell you what, they're getting better at what they're doing. They're defending better also. So I think it's a different game. I know last year they hit 3 after 3, and we didn't have an answer for it. Even when we did press and turned them over almost 30-something times last year and still lost the game.
Your guard play has been sky high all year long. Do you feel like your post play has kind of slowly developed throughout the year to complement it?
Yeah, I think it's with Simone being out at the beginning and kind of fighting injuries lately. I think it's hurt us. I think she hadn't been consistent yet at what she does. She can get consistent because she can play, and then Bree's just not she's not quite strong enough now to really get in there and post like we would like. She's getting better at it. And Brooklyn's been missing a lot of shots, but Brooklyn did that 2 years ago. I mean, when we started the season, she missed a lot of shots, and she kind of got going when we got into conference. So that's kind of hoping that Brooklyn can kind of get going. We've kind of moved Brooklyn out to the high post area a little bit more. I think you're going to see her giving her a little bit more room. It's going to help her to kind of get better shots. They've been contesting a lot of her shots. So, I think we need to get them going. Though, if we can get them going, we got a great chance going into the tournament and advancing. But we're going to need them. Our guard play is consistent. I say you win with guard play, but boy, if you can get some post players, you can win some championships with it. And I think we have the kids in place. They just got to get going. And our coaching staff's done a great job today. That's what we worked on, a lot of post-entry passes and relocating at the guard position and stuff, and still learning and trying to get better at that.
How is Simone health-wise going into Thursday? Simone health-wise?
Yeah, she's good. She's fine. Her ankle's fine. She played on a Saturday, limited amount, and then today in practice she looked really good. She really did. She's fine. She's spraying her ankle. Some people can handle those kind of things, and some people can't. And it's all about handling pain. But today we got up and down the floor, and she looked really good. So I think she's at 100%.
Has this kind of been? I mean, last season y'all had success at home. WBI, you win a bunch of games in Earl K. Having success on the road, is that kind of a proud point for you as far as the progression of the program this season?
Yeah, I mean, y'all want me to be honest? I didn't even realize it. I mean, we're going one game at a time. I didn't realize we won that many games on the road, to be honest. We're just playing, it's like, but it's a good feeling. It is, now that you stop and think about it and y'all point it out, it's like, wow, we are, because it's tough to win on the road, our losses have been on the road, and they've been close, I say close. The Houston game was close. I thought we had an opportunity. We didn't play well against Tech, and then Arkansas State was just so good that night. But, to win some of those games on the road, it's pretty big, especially conference games, What you said, 4-1, and I honestly didn't realize that was happening, Our plan was, and, that just comes from Jay and Stevie, and probably you, Kevin, is trying to split. That's my goal, is let's get on the road and split some, and hope that's going to happen. And, to go into Georgia and get 2 wins like that, it's pretty big, And, when we go to the Texas schools, it's kind of the same approach, We don't really take it with the kids, but our coaching staff, we talk about it. So I kind of like that plan, is splitting and coming back with 2 wins would be awesome every time, But it's difficult on the road. It really is. And for us, I thought the refereeing on both games were real consistent. It was real. They called fouls, and I was really surprised, because it's been up and down, but the consistency of both those games has helped us to be able to play like we want to play. To me, it was big. Now, You know, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I know they're talking about they still want to call fouls, but I mean, if you watched the A&M game yesterday and in South Carolina, they didn't call any. So you just never know.
Got one more about Bree Cooper. You talked about her getting more physical as far as posting off. Her getting 13 rebounds in a game. Does that mean that she's making strides on getting contested rebounds and being physical on that area of things?
I think it just means she's so dang athletic. You know, she's 6'3" and probably plays like she's 6. I mean, her arms are, and she can jump out the gym. You know, her knees feeling really good. I know she got injured 2 summers ago, and you know didn't really rehab that good. Now she's rehabbed and ready to go. But I think her mindset too. You know, when she came in, I don't know if anybody ever told her how important the rebounds were, and we brought her in and sat her down and said, look, number one thing, we need you to rebound, and she's going after it. Her mindset is to get every ball, but she's extremely athletic. I mean, she can jump. I mean, Coach Deacon says that every day. We're going to put 20 more pounds on her, and she'll be dunking next year. I really believe that. I really think she's going to be dunking the ball next year because she's just so strong. I mean, she's so long and athletic. So that's our goal with her. There's a sky's the limit. I met her dad for the first time. We were in Georgia. And he kind of laughed. He said, man, he can't believe, he hadn't seen her play since high school because he had missed all the games. He lives in Atlanta. And he's like, wow, this girl's improved already. And there's a lot more room for improvement for her.
Okay, everybody good?
Thank y'all.
Hey,